Abusia ya makwa strong so eba POG Media so ya dem political highway so highway ne de ensem bebre wo so ayen so ya je pene se be me abidwafo no ahu de ekọ ene de eba na den na ekọ so ewo highway ne so eye NDC Caucus and a strong warning ama Ghana military say on Tuesday no it say omu pese omubehu soja ni bia ewo eye parliament wa abusia enye asam ketewa kora na eye NPP Gǔřǔs no omo ahye dae den a oda eye soldiers for no say masa Tuesday no omonko set confusion ewo eye parliament no omo attack NDC eye MPs na abusia enye asam ketewa kora na we na information na leak say omo so dey strong warning ene abambagben omo dey strong warning ama Ghana military enye asam ketewa kora abusia soldiers no omo ayo madwen say ombekwa akọ attack eye NDC MPs eye abambagben ne NDC caucus no omo so dey strong warning ama Ghana military na enye asam ketewa kora abusia parliament de ewo achi say you know ye be pese be me abidwafo no be me akọ ne akwakuti ensema cause na answer na be kono o ensem kan bi afa share ye comment section like na share ma afofo so ensa entumi enka bi aha POG Media so madam ase
So we can Article 3 of the Ghana Constitution one. So obi epese or find it to me and I say or take advantage of our position now or the undermining the Constitution of Ghana. Your one said yes, say you be kun editia. Now you protected the sanctity of the Constitution. You know, near ye on Tuesday. You know, it will be more than a showdown. It
will be more than a showdown on Tuesday.
It will be more than a showdown.
Want chaotic.
Messi, it will be. If the court wants anarchy, they will get anarchy.
We are loyal.
Tie. A banner say, you protect the sanctity of your Constitution. One. And yeah, about say we are loyal. We are say you. Now one more we sa chaotic orders. No. Now one name say sa order ne. Describe
the Supreme Court as a chaotic order.
Of course, it's a chaotic order. In the first place, you know. Missy in the way young court who now for more beyond that down. Near ABC 2024 election, and Yankupon shall say than a deed ya train. To be more beyond that down. Near Yami Bayano, and one of us shall say, now, senior a shall say from the beginning, you know, I could draw a bomb more dear to me, speaker. No, Saku could draw no any idea about parliament.
Are you saying some
Missy?
Because you started this parliament with a fight on January 7th.
I could draw a bomb more dear than speaker. No, it is I could do no. Eddie Beko Parliament.
I could never talk about
Missy T.
Military Bachamba.
Missy, and look at illegality. Military need be any power. So we're about chamber. The chamber is the house of the people. Is the people's chamber.
But if you are misconducting yourself as members of parliament, the military has the right to intervene.
No. Members of parliament, they are masters of their own when they are on the floor.
Right.
The military has no room in our democratic dispensation on the floor. What happened that day was very, very shameful, and it was a blot on our democratic credentials as a people. And you know, it should never ever happen again.
To the extent that the military should not intervene. Protecting lives and property.
The military. Why do we have marshals in the chamber? That's why we have marshals in the chamber. So the military have no room in the chamber when it comes to the work of members of parliament or floor of parliament. And you know, on this Tuesday, which I call Defiant Tuesday, you know, ni besi. Esan say, yent na ho, emo obi mbe chinchi yensa, na majority anyankopodi ashe yensa no, no abeji sa majority ni free yensa. It won't happen today, it won't happen tomorrow, it will never happen until we win the 7th December election, you know. Majority need we have become majority and we will not surrender it. Messi, BB Bessie. Messi on Tuesday need ye. Bessie. You are in a country where
these environmental degradation and the death of what is happening now poses existential challenge to all of us. It violates what we call intergenerational equity rights, because every generation is supposed to exploit and use the natural resources around in ways that do not deprive future generations of the use of these same resources. Unfortunately, what we are doing now, the managers of our resources today are just they are on a path of no return. It's like we are willing to just destroy. It doesn't matter what the future holds, and that is wrong. And the only group of people who are more likely to be affected by what is happening today is the young people. Is the young people, because they are going to be living for the next 50 years, the next 100 years. So the issues of cancer, the issues of all kinds of strange tumors, all kinds of kidney diseases, the cyanide that is destroying the water bodies, the fact that it's entirely possible that sooner than later, even Ghana water may not have potable water, may not have like good water that they can process for us.
We might have to import water, they tell us.
These are serious issues. And the only group of people who can actually stand up for us right now will be these young people. And guess what? When they stand up for these things, instead of us dealing with the substance for which they stood up, we resort to what I call frivolities. Right? The things that are not really, you say they destroy public property, which are posters, political party posters. They are the public properties that they claim they destroyed. I heard one say that, so did you see Bakavamo? He went and turned off the ignition key and took the key away. So I asked him, yes. In a protest, someone turns off the ignition key and takes the key away. So what crime is that? What is the crime? Well, stealing of a key that he took away. And they say he took the key and threw it away. I say, yeah. So what crime? Tell me, in the criminal offenses, what crime is that? When I saw the child, it said stealing of a key. I'm like, seriously? Stealing of a key, ignition key. That was turned off, taken away and thrown away. That's stealing of a key. So when you put the entire protest within the context of the videos that we just saw, it should tell you that if anyone must be hailed by the elderly, religious groups, organized labor, and all persons who care about the future existence of our nation, it must be these young people. These young people are the martyrs of our time. They are putting their lives, they are putting their future, they are putting their everything they've got. Some of them, their profession, some of them are lawyers, some of them are medical doctors, some are engineers. They are putting all these things, at the table so they can save our collective future. They deserve commendation. They need to be hailed. They must be immortalized, because these are the people who are saving our generation of today. Unfortunately, look at how they've been dealt with as if they are common criminals. And I don't blame the regime. KSM, is it not surprising that government promised, or the president promised, that he want to put his presidency on the line when it comes to the fight against Galamsey? And only under his regime, he brings out a new law, an airline, that allows him to even grant licenses in forest areas.
To fly in the forest,
And in just this short period, in 8 years, over 1,000 of licenses issued. So when you have destroyed every water body, and you've destroyed your own people, and there's no one living in this nation called Ghana, on whom are you going to exercise your leadership? Why do you want to be in leadership? You want to be in leadership because you want to fight for welfare of people. So the people whose water bodies you are destroying, how does that amount to fighting for their welfare? People whose farms are being destroyed for galamsey activity, how does that protect their welfare? People whose children and children's children do not have a future because of the galamsey activities, how does that translate to protection of the welfare of these people? So clearly, this is leadership failure. It's quite unfortunate.
Yeah. He says, so clearly this is leadership for failure, and it's suing the IGP.
That's
and
correct.
you are suing the Attorney General.
That's correct.
And I was thinking, this stubborn Xavier, is he doing this just for the record? Essentially, I sued the IGP, I sued. Is it something for the record, or is it something he seriously believes is something that can go far? So that's what I want to ask you before we go back to...
That's a really good question. I have many suits for the record against Attorney General.
So this is not the first one?
No. And against the IGP. Some of them are different levels. Some have been settled along the line. Some we won against them. And so these are things that I've been doing in the past. And I felt so compelled by the story of these martyrs of our time that I decided on my own volition, on a pro bono basis.
When you talk about matters of the time, you're talking about the young ones.
The young
that
ones,
were demonstrating.
yeah, that was demonstrating.
Okay.
I was inspired by their spirit.
Okay.
To want to fight for them and stand with them and fight with them. And that was the reason why I reached out to them in the various cells and spoke to them and told them that, well, you've been denied bail. Hopefully at the next court day you could be granted bail. But this thing is bigger than just you. We are all involved and it affects all of us. And so our strategy must move beyond just what is happening at the circuit court. So that we can bring action before the High Court and bring action before the ECOWAS Community Court, possibly even petition the UN in respect of different aspects of what is happening. And that was how come I did the first action against the IGP and the Attorney General on behalf of 32 protesters.
Okay.
Today, we are filing an action on behalf of 54 protesters before the ECOWAS Community Court.
Oh, wow.
Yes, against the government of Ghana for violation of our environmental rights and destroying our water bodies. And in that suit, we are also going to challenge the basis of the current trial or the current prosecution that is ongoing of the protesters. So these are different levels of action that are meant to support or to be in solidarity with the protesters. And so there are actions that I'm going to see and make sure that we go through with the action. Because I sincerely believe that what is happening is a serious violation. You know, KSN, what happened was that there were 3 categories of people that were arrested. 1, there were people who were not part of demonstrators at all. And they were either using the premise at that morning or were standing around and were looking, onlookers.
Some of the arrested were onlookers.
As I talked to you, one person who is on remand was actually on his way to visit the wife who was on admission at the military hospital. In fact, the Texas Military Hospital has written to the Ghana police indicating that this person was not even part. He was just coming to visit the wife on admission. He's on remand now. He is on remand.
And the hospital has written.
Yes. And so that category of people who were just there. Then there's a category of people who were protesters. Protesters generally in red, protesting with, and who were just standing and protesting. And there were other protesters who were agitated and who were then having some banter with the police.
Yeah.
Under the Public Order Act, what the police should have done at the time was to attempt to restrain the protesters that they claim at that time were putting out maybe disorderly behavior. And the purpose may not necessarily be to even arrest them, but to restrain them. Sometimes you calm them, sometimes whatever happened, you hold them up for some hours, then they are released. Because you know they are protesters. That's why it's called a protest. Protest is not church. It's not a church they are coming to do.
Yeah.
They are not in a mosque to come and pray and go away.
Yeah.
They came to demonstrate, to do something that will draw public attention to the problems. So that's the meaning of protest. And that is why you would always have policemen around so that they will be guiding the process. So if you see that something is going on, not going so well, you are there to guide, so you stop the thing. But when you take the view that because you've seen some protesters being rowdy, and so you use excessive force against them, begin to arrest them, not only arrest them, now go on arresting spree. Arresting even bystanders and people who are walking about and arresting everybody with the mind that you want to repress the protest. Then you end up violating multiple, you commit multiple violation of rights. You've unlawfully arrested some people, unlawfully detained some people. You arrested them without even telling them the reason for the arrest. You deny them the right to counsel, and they are being moved from place to place. So deny them right to their family members, the opportunity that they are supposed to get to fully defend themselves. You deny them all of that, only for you, after holding them over 48 hours, quickly rush them to court to get them remanded. Clearly, that's a systemic violation of these people who have done nothing but to only go and tell you in your face that you are not managing the environmental issues well. You are destroying our future together. That's what they came to say. And that's how you turn out treating them. So clearly, there are categories of rights that have already been violated, including the right to protest. And that is why we've taken the IGP and the Attorney General to the Human Rights High Court, and also repeating a similar action before the ECOWAS Community Court. Yes.
Let put myself in the shoes of a policeman who is seeing angry demonstrators. They are protesting.
Yeah.
People are angry.
Yes.
I mean, the field that is going on with our environment is annoying.
Very annoying.
So let's say they are really angry, justifiably so. But the anger has led to levels where they are like charging, and the police actually feel at this point our lives are in danger. What force are they required to use if they perceive that the charge that is coming on is endangering them and public property?
The law says that reasonable force. And reasonable force is based on the reasonable man's expectation. For example, if somebody is protesting, holding only a placard, you know that irrespective of how angry and how charged such a protester may be, it's only a placard the person is holding. He's not holding a gun, not holding a knife. He's not only holding any weapon or stone or anything. In all these things, did you hear anywhere that a protester used a stone on a police officer? They didn't go out there to be violent. Beyond all the issues police have said that they were being rowdy and they had a clash with police, did you hear anyone use any weapon, not even the sticks they were holding, to hit any police officer? It's not heard anywhere that they use stones. They said they used stones to block roads. So they could have used those stones. They could have actually broken glasses of people, right? Because in their mind, we are you. And you want a field day to go and do your own business. We are not going to allow you. That's the mindset of a protest. A protester who has a criminal mind will not do only that. They will go out of the way and begin to destroy your cars, try to burn cars, try to destroy, like you see the physical destruction. We saw what happened in Kenya. There will be physical destruction. These protesters, there is no evidence that this protester did any physical destruction of anything. So the allegations are all trumped up, and the charges are trumped up, just so to fit into a narrative of a rowdy young people. Of course, why shouldn't they be rowdy when you are toying with their future?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be rowdy when you are toying with their future? If they don't speak now, you see, one kasa with you, one bonny. When should they rise and talk to you that you are destroying their future? It is now or never. It's now or never. These are emotions building up. If the Ghana Police Service and the government does not restrain itself from the constant use and the constant abuse of ordinary citizens who are angry and venting out their anger, very soon they would have to deal with the entire nation that is angry at them. And that, I don't think that government will really want to get to that state. I'm really hopeful that the organized labor will carry it. So government will understand what it feels to respond to issues when they are being raised. And so, honestly speaking, within the context of what is happening, I think that there's a systemic arrangement to just simply deny people of their right to protest. It's not really because anybody felt threatened by any weapon or any tool that will make Ghana police use the kind of excessive force they use. And so the police must come clear. You know, you said service and integrity. But it's the opposite that we're seeing.
Okay. Let me get your view on this.
Abusia we ne ensama ekọ so ewo highway ne so eye Ghana military and aye nya ntene say omo pese omo called set confusion ewo parliament on Tuesday I just say NDC caucus ne abamba bende strong warning ama abusia enye asem keto akra be abujafo asese omo je pene kokoti sa audio we edema ya ha POG Media so medama say